In this video, I'm talking about what most Etsy shop owners don't do, and that's being extremely strategic about your listing photos. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Shay and I'm a beginner to Etsy. I started a digital products store in January of this year, and my goal is to grow it to a six-figure business by the end of the year. So that's what this channel is all about. I'm documenting my sales each month and my progress towards that goal. And I also share every single strategy I've been using to break into the Etsy marketplace and actually find success as a beginner. So if you also want to grow your Etsy shop to a full-time income, or you're just interested to see my progress towards that six-figure goal, please like and subscribe. This video is part of a series where I'm sharing all the strategies I've used in my store up until this point. This video is technically part 2 of part 3 of this series, which is confusing, but basically I'm just making a bunch of videos about strategies and what I'm using as a beginner to actually make sales on Etsy. So I'll go ahead and link the playlist to the other videos that I've made so far about strategy. I highly suggest checking out those videos because I do share a lot of strategies that I think are crucial to your success as a beginner on Etsy. This video is all about listing photos and how you can be extremely strategic when you are designing your listing photos in Etsy. And as a side note, I do sell digital products, but I do think that these strategies and ideas are super beneficial if you're selling print on demand as well. So this video is not going to be a super in-depth Canva tutorial or anything like that. I think that there are so many great Canva step-by-step tutorial videos out there. I will link some that I found helpful in the description down below. But instead, this video is going to be more strategic and just all about the strategies and concepts that I'm constantly thinking about as I'm designing my listing photos in Etsy. So I'm not going to dive into Canva, but I will pop up examples on the screen so you know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about different strategies. Okay, so let's get right into it. So there are two concepts that I think about when I am designing my listing photos. And the first concept is this idea in marketing that when you confuse the customer, you lose the customer. But the concept behind this is you need to be very clear and make it very obvious with what you are selling. When a customer, finds one of your listings, clicks on your listing, or goes to your shop, they need to be able to tell immediately what you are selling. Additionally, most potential customers will not read your description at all, and instead they'll just click through the photos. So you want to make sure that your listing photos are going to display all the information that you need so that the customers are not left with any questions or confusion. So you want to be clear with what you're selling, what the customer is going to get when they purchase your item, how they actually use your item, or how they actually download it if it's a digital product. And then the fourth thing is you also want to show how this product is actually going to help them. This leads me directly into the second concept that I want you to be thinking about as you're designing your listing photos. And that's the idea that your customer doesn't actually care about your product. I hate to break it to you. They don't actually care about your product. They care about what your product is going to do for them, how it's going to help them, how it's going to make them feel, how it's going to, solve a problem or meet a need in their life. People are shopping for a reason. They're missing something in their lives. They need something. And so you really want to be thinking about how can I show that this product is going to meet those needs. And so that's why I think that having a niche and having a specific target audience, like I talked about in my niche research video, is so important, and it really creates the most powerful form of marketing because you truly can showcase how your product is going to help this specific audience. So think about how your product is solving a problem or meeting a need for your target audience, and then showcase that in your listing photos. Let's get into the specifics about listing photos. So when it comes to listing photos, I categorize them into 4 different categories. The first is going to be your mock-ups or your first photos, your main listing photos. The second, you're going to have your features photos. The third, you are going to have fine print photos. And then the fourth, if you have space, you can do additional marketing photos. So I will go in depth about all of these. So number one, your mockups or main listing photos. And this is where I feel like a lot of new Etsy store owners go wrong, because your very first photo can absolutely make or break whether or not you make sales. People shop with their eyes, and if you don't have a competitive first photo, you won't even get a chance to make a sale because people won't even click on your item. So I've talked about this before. I like to test out different listing photos. I usually have 3 different ones that I test out. So for a single product, I will make 3 different listings with different cover photos. So if you're selling a product that you would use a mock-up for, so like a t-shirt or a mug, or digital products like, for example, a wedding seating chart sign, you are going to want to get really good mock-ups. And I think as a beginner shop owner, you don't want to spend money, you want to do things as cheaply as possible. But I do totally believe in, if you need to, spending money and investing in a good first listing photo or a good mock-up. So some places I have found my mock-ups is the best place, I think, is actually buying one off of Etsy. There are so many amazing photographers that specialize in taking mock-up photos, and so you can browse on Etsy and see a lot. And sometimes they're really cheap. Like the ones that I have bought are just maybe like $5, and then I can use them in a lot of different products. So I really think it's worth the value. Another place I've found great mockups is just Canva. Usually it's with a Canva Pro account, but they have a lot of really awesome mockups in there that are super aesthetic that I've used as well. And then if you're selling a digital product that's some sort of printable or maybe like a larger bundle, you wouldn't actually use a mockup for that, and you would just create your own listing photo where you're displaying the product and you might have a title or whatever it is. But the same concept goes for this. Do not skimp on your first listing photo, even if you're designing it from scratch in Canva. Definitely take your time with that. And same goes for the mock-up photos. Study your competition. Study the best sellers. You absolutely will be able to see a trend and a pattern for what design and style and overall vibe of mock-up photos are selling the best. And at the very least, make sure that your photos are as competitive as those best sellers, if not more competitive. Try to find an even more aesthetic photo or an even better way to display your product. So really take your time, study the competition, aim to do better, and then also test out a couple different listing photos to see which works best. So the second type of photos that you'll want are the features photos. So this is where you'll really showcase the 2 concepts that I talked about earlier. So this is especially important in the digital product space. You'll want a slide that just shows everything that's included when they buy your product. So if you have multiple pages, multiple sizes, if it's some kind of bundle, whatever it is, you want to be extremely clear with what the buyer is going to be getting when they purchase your item. You do not want to confuse them or have them, questioning or wondering what they're going to get. And then the other type of features photo that I like to include is, I call it like a what's in it for me photo. So it's where you're going to highlight additional features or whatever it is about the product, and very specifically how it's going to solve a problem for the customer. People don't always realize or know immediately how your product is going to help them, so it's okay to be very blunt and tell them. If you're selling a wedding planner, you can straight up have a slide that says, this planner will help you save hours in planning on your big day, and it'll help you stay organized as a future bride. Also, for me, selling Canva templates, on this slide, I literally have something like download instantly and edit in minutes. So I'm showcasing the features about this product and how it's going to help the customer. So the third type of listing photos is just the fine print photos. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but for me, selling digital products, I have a slide where I clearly state my return policy, and I also clearly state that this is a digital product and that they're not going to receive something physically in the mail, and instead they're going to be getting a PDF download after they purchase. And then I also include a how it works slide, and this is hitting on the reducing confusion for the customer. I want to clearly lay out step by step what they need to do to purchase and use my product. So you're further removing barriers and you're further removing confusion in the customer's mind when it comes to your product. Another thing that I've seen people do here that I don't have space for in my photos, but I think can be good is like a FAQ slide. And you can even combine that with your return policy slide because one of the questions could be about your return policy. But I think that that is a super helpful slide as well to the customer. So the fourth type of listing photos that I like to include are just the additional marketing photos. And if I have space, there's usually two types of photos that I include. So one is an upsell photo, and that's where if I have the product in a larger bundle, I'll, showcase like bundle and save, buy this larger bundle with other items. Or I'll show additional items that I think would go well with this product. Also on this slide, if you have some sort of bundle promo, like I do 50% off 3 or more items, you can include that in this slide as well. And it's really just to get an upsell, get larger bundles. Another listing photo I will include if I have the space is to showcase some of my shop reviews from other customers. This can be so powerful because social proof is such a powerful form of marketing. This obviously applies later on once you get more reviews, but what I have been doing recently is I will take specific reviews that I think either speak specifically to the problems that my products are solving or maybe specifically to some hesitations or confusions that I think a customer might have. So for instance, on the slide that I have a review that says something like, this was super easy to edit and I was able to download it instantly. Someone left a super awesome review about how this product saved them a ton of time in their business and helped them so much as a new small business owner. And so that's such a powerful review that I can include on this slide as well to further show that social proof. The last thing I want to talk about is just everything else in your Etsy shop. So your banner and your shop icon, your about me and your store announcements, all of those can also be created with those two concepts in mind. Some of the best shop banners I've seen clearly state what they sell and how it can help you. So that's again where niching down and having a specific audience is going to help tremendously here because you can be very clear and speak directly to your target audience. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys found this valuable. I really try to share strategies and things that most people are not talking about when it comes to Etsy, but these are the strategies that I've used and I really think that they are so repeatable and you can use them as well to grow a shop even as a beginner. If you found this video helpful, please like and leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.